Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. Friends, this is lecture number 11 in this series of tutorials on engineering thermodynamics. In the previous video lecture, we have studied about the zeroth law of thermodynamics, and today we will study about the method which was adopted before 1954 to measure the temperature of a body. Okay, so we will discuss that method today. Now friends, we all know that temperature of any body varies linearly, note it down, linearly with thermodynamic property. We all know that. For example, in case of a mercury in glass thermometer, as the temperature increases, okay, the level of mercury in the thermometer rises. We all know that. And as the temperature decreases, the level of mercury falls. We also know that. Okay, we all know this thing. So here the rise or fall in the length of mercury column inside the thermometer is a thermometric property. Okay, so we can say that temperature of a body, okay, measured by a thermometer denoted by theta x, that is the temperature of the body measured by thermometer is denoted by theta x, is equal to k times x, where k is the constant of proportionality and x is the thermometric property. So here in case of mercury in glass thermometer, x is the length of the mercury in the thermometer. Okay, length of the mercury column in the thermometer is the thermometric property denoted by x here. So temperature of any body is directly proportional to the length of the mercury in thermometer, which is a thermometric property of the thermometer. Now let us discuss the method which was used in the 1954 based on the concept that I have already told you. Now friends, to measure temperature of a body, a very unique technique was used actually. Let us understand that technique with the help of an example. In this method, three systems were taken. Okay, three systems were taken. The first system, whose temperature is to be determined by us, that is the unknown temperature. System 1 has unknown temperature. Okay, that is we have to find the temperature of system 1 as shown here. This is the system 1. And second system was system of water at at ice point. So in the second system, the water was there at ice point or freezing point. Ice point is also called as freezing point. So today we know that the ice point of water is 0 degrees Celsius, but at that point of time, that is before 1954, we didn't know that the ice point of water was 0 degrees Celsius. So you should assume that you don't know the ice point, but you know that the ice at ice point, the ice and water exist in equilibrium. Ice and water exist in equilibrium, but you have to remember only this thing. So second system contains water at ice point only, and the third system was system of water at steam point or boiling point. Okay, and the third system contains water at steam point and steam point or boiling point. Steam point and boiling point are same thing. So these are the three systems as shown here. Now method adopted was that the mercury in glass thermometer was dipped separately in each of the three systems. Okay, in each of the three systems, the mercury in glass thermometer was dipped one by one, and the length of the mercury column was noted as x, x1 and x2 as shown here. X, x1 and x2, these are the length of the mercury column noted by the mercury thermometer for the three systems. Okay, now according to the relation A, this is the relation A as shown here. You can see this, that is the theta x is equal to kx. Temperature of system 1 is denoted by theta x is equal to k times x, where x is the length of the mercury measured by mercury in glass thermometer when it was make in contact with system 1. And here temperature of the second system theta x1 is equal to k times x1, where x1 is the length of the mercury in glass thermometer when the thermometer was kept in contact with the system 2, and temperature of the third system is theta x2 is equal to k time x2, where x2 is the length of the mercury in the thermometer when the thermometer was came into contact with the system 3. Okay, this thing is clear up to now. Now when we divide equation second by equation 1 and equation third by equation 1, we get these two equations as shown here. That is, equation second was divided by equation 1 and equation third was divided by equation 1, then we get these two equations, that is the equation number 4th and equation number 5th. Okay, now friends, what we have to do, we have to subtract equation 4 and 5 to get this expression as shown here. Okay, this is the expression that we get after subtracting equation 4 and 5. Now if we assign an arbitrary number of degrees to temperature interval theta x1 minus theta x2 as shown here, this term theta x1 minus theta x2 is assigned an arbitrary degree as 100 degrees. Okay, 100. Then the equation can be written as shown here. Why it is assigned as 100 degree? It is an arbitrary number. So the scientist has chosen this 100 number because it made the calculation simple. Otherwise you can choose any other degree also, it doesn't matter, but at that time 100 was chosen, so I am writing here as 100. So now you can see this in this expression, the theta x is the temperature of the unknown body here, and it can be determined by finding out x1, x2 and x, where x1, x2 and x are the length of the mercury in the thermometer when the thermometer came in contact with the system 1, system 2 and system 3 respectively. So friends, this was all for today's topic, and if you like my video, subscribe my channel and also press the bell icon for the notification of upcoming videos. So thank you friends for